Good evening. My name is Noah Chong, the Chief Operation Officer at General Motors. I know our brand has been the subject of controversy as of late. I just want to let you know that there is nothing to be worried about. There is lots of talk going on about how General Motors has laid off many of its employees in the North American branches, more specifically in Canada, Ontario, Oshawa. But I can promise you that it is for a good cause. We are shrinking our labor force so that we can focus more on the software engineer side of our development. We are looking more to achieve sustainable goals in our company and reduce our carbon emissions. Reports have shown that GM has been able to reduce carbon emissions by 14 million kilograms from 2008 to 2013. And we have continued that trend from 2013 onward, and we plan to continue that trend until 2022. At GM, we have shrunk our labor force in Oshawa by 2,000 while increasing software engineers from 700 to 1,000 employees. We are also making sure that our engineers know that we value them very much, as their starting salary is $80,000 while starting salaries of employees on the plant are slated to make about $44,000. At GM North America, we are aware that Canada makes up nearly 12.3% of America's auto production, and we are now focusing more on sustainable development goals as opposed to automotive production, as we can achieve cheaper production in places like the United States and Mexico. We understand that sacrifices have to be made in order to get goals achieved, and we are sacrificing our labor force and some of our labor employees so that we can afford to move forward in a more sustainable way. We want to focus more on the globalization as well as the climate change awareness aspect of our production. We acknowledge that our labor employees are worried as their wages have dropped and they perceive their labor to be more precarious than before. The executives want them to know that we still value them, as our company would be nothing without them, and we hope that they can adhere to our goals so that we can be successful in the future together. We encourage production employees to remain with GM because if they take the buyout, they will risk losing their jobs and they will be forced to take less than what they are valued at in terms of severance and pension. We understand that many of our employees are unhappy with the pay cuts that have been going on, and about 49,000 workers have been on strike for more than a month, which has cost us as a company more than $2 billion. I can assure you that $2 billion is beneficial to nobody. And we can promise that we can offer an $11,000 signing bonus and we can continue negotiating wages so that we can come together as a family and improve the overall working condition not only of GM but the industry as well. We acknowledge that GM employees are loyal and selfless, as well as hardworking and determined. This is personified by during 2009, when we were facing bankruptcy, many of our employees gave up pay raises in order to keep the company afloat. Now to those employees who are demanding more, we ask that you can remain selfless and we will come to negotiate and we will give you as much as we can. At GM, we want to remind you that everybody has a voice and we love hearing it. Thank you so much for your time, and we wish you a great evening.